Hello and welcome everyone to the in-depth series of Drishti IAS English. My name is Pragya. In today's interesting episode of this in-depth series, we are going to discuss and analyze the answer to a very important and a significant question. The title of our today's discussion is Why Election Commission Wants Changes in the Electoral Forms. So in this discussion, we are firstly going to study about when and why did the Election Commission first decide to link Aadhaar card with voter IDs. And we are also going to shed some of the light on the issue that whether it is compulsory for you to link your Aadhaar card or seed your Aadhaar card with your voter ID. We are going to shed light on this issue in our today's discussion. Then we are also going to examine the Election Commission's stand in this regard. Then we are also going to see what was the latest petition in the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court of India regarding this matter. Then we are also going to see what is the Election Commission's proposal to the Government of India vis-a-vis the Government of India's stance on this matter. And lastly, we are going to discuss a practice question for your prelims examination. So if I talk about the news or the background of our today's topic, a recent petition in the Honorable Supreme Court of India. A recent petition in the Honorable Supreme Court of India highlights this fact that yes, although it is voluntary for you to link your Aadhaar card with the voter IDs, but if you look at the forms that are given to those persons who are trying to get them registered as first-time voters, it sheds no clarity on this point, and we are going to understand in our further slides how. So this brings us to the important point of our today's discussion, that when and why did the Election Commission first decide to link Aadhaar cards with voter IDs? So basically the year was 2015 and the then Chief Election Commissioner H.S. Brahma, Mr. H.S. Brahma announced that yes, the Election Commission of India is going to conduct a drive in which it will make the mandatory linking of Aadhaar card and voter ID. Basically, they were going to collect all of the Aadhaar details of the persons who wanted to be registered as the first time voters as well as the existing voters in the electoral roll from the March 1st, 2015. And the aim of the drive was to remove bogus or duplicate entries from the electoral roll and was to be completed by August of that year. That means was to be completed by August 2015. But after much uproar, it was clarified that okay, it is a voluntary exercise. We are not making it mandatory in nature. Moving forward, after the Supreme Court on August 11, 2015 ruled that Aadhaar could only be used for government schemes for distribution of food grains, LPG and kerosene, the Election Commission stopped its 2015 drive, and this landmark case was Justice K.S. Puttaswamy. Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. So this is known as the Aadhaar case, and basically this case led to the evolvement of right to privacy in India. So we all know what had happened. The Aadhaar bill was passed as a money bill, and that is why through this case the Supreme Court placed certain restrictions on the use of Aadhaar. It said that you can use it only for LPG, availing the benefit of LPG cylinders, kerosene, and under the PDS schemes, you cannot use the Aadhaar card as a personal identification number. So the Election Commission had to stop its 2015 drive, but by that time it had already collected 38 crore Aadhaar numbers or Aadhaar details. Aadhaar details. Moving forward, now let us examine the Election Commission's stand. So basically in the year 2019, the Election Commission of India again proposed to the government of India that yes, now we want to collect the Aadhaar data for every customer which is already on the electoral list or which is planning to enroll itself as a first time voter. So basically the Election Commission asked the government to amend the election laws to enable collecting of Aadhaar details, and the government of India enacted the Election Laws Amendment Act 2021, which enabled the linking of Aadhaar card with voter ID. So under this act, the Election Commission again started collecting your Aadhaar details from July 2022. But let me clarify that this is not compulsory. This is voluntary in nature. And for these purposes, two forms were circulated. First form was Form 6B. So this Form 6B was given to the existing voters in the electoral roll so that they can seed their Aadhaar card details. And then there was another form that is known as Form 6, that is given to any person who wants to enroll itself as a first time voter. So see, this is the Form 6 which is given by the Election Commission of India to the new persons who want them to be get registered as the first time voters. And if you look at this entry 5, so basically Aadhaar card details. So Aadhaar number, there is a space and there is a declaration that I am not able to furnish my Aadhaar number because I don't have an Aadhaar number. And this is the problematic point. Basically, it is making it indirectly compulsory for you to seed your Aadhaar details for obtaining a voter ID. Otherwise, if you say that I do not have an Aadhaar card, and you will mark this option, B option, and by chance if you have an Aadhaar card, then you can be liable for making false declaration. And this is the issue that has been highlighted in the petition before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, that yes, although you are saying that it is completely voluntary for me to seed my Aadhaar card details for obtaining my voter ID, but if you look at the form, it does not have any such option. That means either you have to seed your Aadhaar card details or you'll have to declare that you completely do not have a Aadhaar card. But in case if you are having an Aadhaar card and if it comes to picture, then definitely you can be held liable for false declaration. Moving forward. So let us examine what was the latest petition in the Honorable Supreme Court of India, the issue which I have already explained to you. So this petition was filed by a Congress leader from Telangana, G. Niranjan, and he moved to the Supreme Court last year, seeking directions to the Election Commission and the government to make amendments so that those people who do not want to link their Aadhaar and voter ID have that option. Because in the previous slide we saw that yes, we completely do not have that option for us to make our disclosure of our Aadhaar identity as optional. Moving forward. The Law Ministry had issued a notification on June 17, 2022 that every person whose name is on the electoral roll may intimate the Aadhaar number. So the word used here is may intimate. But do you think the form has this option? No. The form is not clear on this point that the disclosure is voluntary in nature. You are not bound to seed your Aadhaar details. So the form absolutely is silent on this point. So basically that is why the Election Commission told the court in September that it would make the clarificatory changes required, and this is why the Election Commission has proposed to the Government of India to amend the RP Act 1950 and the electoral forms. or the voter enrollment forms. Now let us examine what exactly is the Election Commission's proposal to the Government of India vis-a-vis the Government of India's stand in this regard. So the Election Commission, in a letter to the Law Ministry in December, proposed amending the RP Act 1950 to remove the requirement of a sufficient cause for not providing your Aadhaar details. So this is justified, right? If it is voluntary in nature, why am I being asked for a sufficient cause? And if I'll declare that I absolutely do not possess an Aadhaar card, and if it is verified and if the information is found to be false, I will be liable for false declaration. So the Election Commission, after this concern was raised before the Honorable Supreme Court of India, has asked the government to do away with this sufficient cause clause in the new registration forms. It also asked the government to amend the registration forms that did not give an option to the individual who has an Aadhaar but chooses not to furnish it. So not only the RP Act 1950 requires an amendment, the forms in itself require an amendment to provide you with that option of making the disclosure of Aadhaar card as optional. Moving forward, the Election Commission has also proposed amending the forms two options of either giving Aadhaar or saying you don't have one to a single line saying Aadhaar number optional. So whenever you fill a form, supposedly you are filling this government exam form, you see that there is a space for putting your Aadhaar number. So sometimes it is asterisk, that means you have to compulsorily provide your Aadhaar number, but sometimes it is this mark is missing. Okay, it is a plain box. Plain box means it is not compulsory for you to provide us with the Aadhaar number. So that kind of boxes can be there on the electoral forms as well for the persons who are trying to get themselves registered as first time voters. So you can just write that Aadhaar number, a box, and you can say that okay, it is optional in nature, as the Election Commission has suggested that put in brackets that it is optional in nature. However, the government is believed to have said that there is no need for the amendment and clarifications from the Election Commission will be enough. So we were discussing that on this issue, the Union Law Ministry has said that to the Election Commission that okay, publish a clarification on your website. We do not think that this requires an amendment to the electoral forms or the voter enrollment forms. You can just simply have a clarification on your website that linkage of Aadhaar card and voter ID is not compulsory in nature. So with this, we come to a conclusion of our today's discussion. We have seen that when and why did the Election Commission wanted to link your Aadhaar card with voter ID. Then we saw the happenings in the year 2019. A new act was also enacted by the Parliament to facilitate this. Then we talked about the latest Supreme Court judgment and the Supreme Court judgment in the Justice 𝐾𝐫 versus Union of India case, famously known as the Aadhaar card case. And we have also examined the issue in detail. So let me know in the comment box below, what do you think, that whether it should be made compulsory to link your Aadhaar card with the voter ID, or an amendment should be made in the voter registration forms. Now let us discuss a practice question for your prelims examination. So the question is, which article bars the interference of the judiciary in the matter of polls conducted by the Election Commission? Your options are: option A is Article 325, option B is Article 327, option C is Article 328, and option D is Article 329. And this answer will be given by you to me in the comment box below. I hope this session was insightful for you. If you have any feedback regarding this session, you can drop it in the comment box below. If you liked today's discussion and found it to be helpful, kindly like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting updates. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.